Hey guys, I don't know where you guys are at, but here in Cuyahoga County, Pennsylvania, we just got snow today. There's about an inch and a half out there, I would say. Of course, the sun's shining now, and the sun has shone probably 10 times today, and 10 times it was snowing, but it would just be a real quick thing. Anyway, we're going to see, Roxanne's going to make some pizza today. And we'll show you how a diabetic eats pizza and what type it is.
Hi everybody, I'm here to show you how I make a diabetic pizza. Now it's totally different than anything you've ever had, I'm sure. But here we go. I don't know if any of you do any home canning, but this is home canned chicken. I've got 2 pints of it here. I'm just going to drop it in. Okay, this one's a little contrary. Here we go. Get out there. There we go. Alright, let me grab a fork. First thing we're going to do is we're going to shred it. Break it down. It's all in cubes right now. But I just canned this last week, and I was so hungry for pizza, and this is how we make our crust. Joe really likes this. Alright, so this is about how you got it. It's a little bit crumbly. As you work with it, it's going to crumble up. Okay, now the next thing I'm going to do, put a cup of mozzarella cheese in here. Now, that's how I do it. I'm sure other people do it differently because there is some out there different. Then, because I'm using 2 jars of the chicken, I'm going to use 2 eggs. Now it gets nice and messy. Now you get in with your fingers and you just squish it all together until it all combines. And you kind of come out with a dough because the eggs and the cheese are going to bind it together so that when we pat this out onto a parchment paper, it will be looking like a pizza crust. As you can see, it's coming together. See how that's forming? And just keep kind of grab it. Just keep mixing it. So that should be mixed up pretty good here. Alright, let me wash my hands here. Now I'm going to grab my pan. I'm going to take a piece of parchment paper. I'm going to lay it down on my pan. And just kind of take half of it. That's a pretty good judge, I guess. This is me. I'm a good judge. But what you do, I start in the middle and just start working out and keeping it together. And you press it out to, maybe 1/4 of an inch thick. I'm not good with measurements, but I'm doing what I think is right, and it always comes out good. And then I just kind of turn it and keep coming from the inside, coming out. Just press it together. It's not like your dough. It's gotta taste much better than dough any day. So glad I found out how to do this. And I don't know what y'all like to put on your pizza, but we like a little bit of everything on ours. And you think about it, you've already got some meat here with the chicken. So you got that meat. And if you throw pepperoni on and ham and bacon, peppers and onions, man, you can have a really good diabetic pizza here. This is really coming together now. I can feel a little bit of a belly here. We just keep pushing it out. I think that's looking pretty good there. So now what I'll do next is I'm going to pop this into a 400-degree oven and bake it for 20 minutes or until it's really nice and brown all the way around the edges. All right, here. Got to set my oven. So now the oven is preheated to 400. I'm going to stick this in the oven for 20 minutes. Alright, meantime, I'm going to chop up, I always like to chop my vegetables real fine, and I'm going to saute them. That's how I do mine, because I don't really care for crunchy vegetables on my pizza. So I'm going to get these all chopped up and ready to put in to saute them. And I'm going to throw some ham on, some pepperoni, and some onion, and lots of cheese, of course. I just kind of like to do this. Cuts down a little bit of time. Now, I did roll out another crust, and it's a little bit smaller, but you know what? That'll be great for tomorrow's leftovers. Just pop it in the microwave and eat it. Okay. It seems like a lot of vegetables, but I am going to put it on 2 pizzas, so I need quite a few. I really like it too when you put the colored peppers on. Gives it a colorful look. Of course, you know what though? The cheese covers the colors anyhow. So we're just doing green today. And I'm using a Vidalia onion. I like my sweet onion. I don't really care for the real strong onions. And my ham is something that we bought at the butcher shop. Cut it up into pieces so that we can use it for however we want. And it's just perfect now to cut it up in pieces and cube it and throw it on the pizza. Wow, that is a lot of pepper, isn't it? And this is only 1 pepper. He's a gigantic one. So now I'm going to chop this a little bit different than I showed you before. It's just the same, it's just a little bit different. We still are going to go like this. See, I showed you the other day to put this on the board, but this is how I was really taught, is to do it in my hand. I know it's not safe, but this is how I was taught. I'm from the old school, you know. We didn't have cutting boards, I don't think. So this is how I've always done it. I got kind of spoiled though, having a cutting board now. So now we just kind of go down over it. See how that comes apart? Alright, now I got to the point where I didn't cut all the way down, so then I just cut that up a little bit at a time here. But you can see, if I'd have went all the way through there, how nice that chops up. But if you just take the ends like this, and just start chopping like this, it's the same thing. Don't want those big pieces in there. We don't like big pieces. Some people like slices on theirs. We prefer the chopped. So now all I'll do is go like this and kind of do the same thing as I showed you before. And for those of you that have never watched me before, my husband's diabetic, and this is why we do things a little differently than other people, and still be able to enjoy the foods that we do like without using the stuff he's not allowed to have. He can have almost any vegetable, and there's just a few that he can't have, and everything we're putting on this pizza he can have. And it doesn't affect his sugar. I guess I forgot what I was doing here. Oh well. Alright, I'm going to go ahead and finish this up. And hopefully that crust is soon coming out. Hi again. I decided to saute these now since I got them all cut up. I throw a little bit of butter in my pan just so it doesn't stick. I'm just going to throw these in. Just till the onions are translucent and the peppers are a little bit not so firm. Yeah, I got it on high to get it started, to get this butter melted and get it started, and then I'm going to turn it down to a simmer. It'll take about 5 or 10 minutes. While the onions and peppers are sauteing, I'm going to chop up some of this ham so it's ready when I get the pizza dough out. The pizza crust has to sit for at least 10 minutes and cool down a little bit before we start to put things on it. So it'd be nice to have all this ready, and then when it's time we can just throw it on. This ham was bought at a local butcher shop, and I'm telling you what, you know, most hams are very salty, but this just has very little salt in, so it'll make it really tasty. It still has the flavor, just doesn't have as much salt. Uh-oh, somebody's snitching. He loves his ham. And what I'm going to do with this before I put it on the pizza too, is after those peppers and onions are done sauteing, I'm going to throw this in the pan and let it brown a little bit. And then it can finish on the pizza. I think I'll do one more. Alright, now we're just waiting on the crust and finish up the sauteing. Okay, I'm going to throw this ham in here beside it and let them saute while they're in there. Good thing I have a great big pan, right? And you know this is already pre-cooked, it's just browning it a little bit just to give it some extra flavor. I think when you brown it you get extra flavor. let's let that do its thing. Well, just keep stirring them, get them moved around. And if they get mixed up, I guess it don't matter. They're all going on the pizza. Doesn't matter. But this is something has become one of our favorite meals because we get hungry for pizza just like everyone else. And this way we can still have it. And I think it's better than a bread dough for a place to put your stuff. You got more taste. And it fills you up really full. You don't even have to eat as much as you did the other stuff. It's very filling. Okay, I don't have to put it in there too long. I've got a minute left to get my crust out, and then we're going to have to let it set for 10 minutes. So, here it is. Isn't that wonderful looking? We're going to time that for 10 minutes now, and then I can start putting my things on that so we can make a pizza. Okay, it's cooled down. We're ready to start. We're going to throw our sauce on here first. Sometimes I have my homemade stuff, but it's all gone. We like this pizza so much I was using it up. But I just spread it clear to the end. I like a lot of sauce on mine. And then after I get all this on, I'm going to throw a bunch of cheese on here. I like double cheese. Okay, get over there. Come on. There we go. We're getting there. Spread some over here. Okay. And that's all we need out of that. This is mozzarella. And lots of cheese, lots of cheese. And I'm not even Italian, but I like this. I guess a lot of people that aren't Italian like pizza. Alright, now I'm going to take my spoon. I'm going to take this peppers and ham and onions and just sprinkle it all the way around the pizza. Doesn't that look yummy? I know, probably some of you don't even like onions. But you don't have to put the onions on. Just put on what you like. Okay. Alright. I'm going to save this for the other pizza that I got to make yet. Set this aside. And now, I'll put the pepperoni on. Okay, here we go. Doesn't it look like a regular pizza? And it's really good for you, you know. Too many times we go for the processed foods, and God doesn't want us to do this to our bodies. So we try to cook at home as much as we can without going out and getting that processed food. Because God wants us to be clean in our bodies and not be overweight. And I'll tell you what, since I started eating what Joe eats, I've lost 35 pounds. So it really does help. Tell I'm not a pizza maker. Takes me a little longer than these pizza guys. Here we go, we're getting there. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to throw some cheese over the top of this. Told you I like lots of cheese. Okay, now it's ready for the oven. I'm going to put it in the oven at 400 degrees for 20 minutes again. And then we'll be ready to eat. Here it is, piping hot from the oven. Doesn't that look yummy? That's for supper. Whoa, whoa, doesn't that look good? Here, Joe, I'll give you one. Oops, I need something bigger than that. Hold on. Aha! This will work. Look at that. Cheesy. I told you I like cheese. Okay. Good luck with trying it yourself. Bye. God bless.